Welcome to Bunnyfish Crafts. I'm your host Heather, known as Bunnyfish on Ravelry, Instagram, and YouTube. Today is Tuesday, the 20th of October, 2015, and this is episode 151, Choppy. Grab some sticks and string and come sit with me. There is probably going to be a good deal of editing because I am sick still, and I'm like sick. Okay, so I know every winterish the kids and I get sick-ish, but I don't usually feel very sick. Like I have this going on, all the grossness, but I don't usually have lethargy that lasts for a long time. And I've felt sick for like 2 weeks now. It's awful. It's awful. Like extremely tired. Don't want to do anything. Don't even want to talk to my friends, which is awful. Yeah, so that's been going on. Also going on, which I think is not helping, is it has been cold here, which is lovely, but our heater isn't working. And inside our house on Sunday morning was like 55 degrees when I woke up, which for me is fine because I can just put on sweaters and socks and a shawl and it's fine. But Mara refused to put on pants and our heater wasn't working. And like our central heat wasn't working. And we built a fire and that was fine and I made her play in there, but she wouldn't put on clothes and I was like, it is cold in here. By midday it was colder in our house than it was outside. And no heat then, no heat yesterday, but it was like 60 when we woke up in the morning in our house, which is fine. And then the heating guy is going to come out today to look at it. So at least it didn't break down in the middle of winter when it would be like frigid in our house. It was just a little bit cool in our house. But that made Sunday not so great for me. Anyway, Finish Your Frog Craft Along, that is going fantastically. Still, I'm super excited seeing what everyone's posting. I need to update, I think, in the chatter thread because I've been commenting on what people have been saying, but I don't think I've put an update for myself recently. I think I should. And I don't know, I feel like there was something else I was going to say about that, but I can't remember. So, finished object, I have one. These are the Rose City Roller Socks by Mara Catherine Briner. And if you've watched any podcasts at all recently, and the people on their knit socks, they've probably knit this pattern. It is a free pattern, and it is really well written. I actually read it. I didn't just use the cast on idea and go. I actually read the pattern. I didn't follow the pattern. Not because it wasn't a good pattern, but just because I know how I like to make certain parts. But if you've never made socks before, it would be a really good starting pattern. It's cuff down. So you start here. It's all knitting and you have to pick up stitches, you have to decrease, and there's very little purling and it's on the short row section. So the top is not ribbed, it's just stockinette, which causes it to roll. And then there's a heel flapping and a gusset. And the sock pattern has two options for toes, a rounded toe and a square toe. I didn't use either, I used my own toe pattern, but the pattern's really well written and it would be a definite jumping off point for someone new. Anyway, these socks have lots of yarn in them. The heels are Lammy Toes Moon Pie Merino in the 90s tie-dye colorway. The cuffs and the toes are Nerd Girl Yarns. What is this base? Oh Snap in the Back to Earth colorway, and the main body, the stripy section, is Penguin Soup Fairy Sock in the Wild Style colorway. Knit these on US size 1s, 2.25 millimeter needles, and I decided to just go plain vanilla with it because I was feeling really awful last week. I contemplated doing a slight pattern, like maybe a vanilla bean or a vanilla latte or something like that. But then I forgot to start it, and I was somewhere in this first blue stripe, and I was like, but I don't really want to rip back or drop down stitches. So I decided to just go stockinette with it. It worked out fine. We'll do fancy socks next time for Haley. I have lots of works in progress this week. First up is my design cowl thingy. And that's kind of what it looks like. Those are the colors together. I love it. So this variegated color, both are a color. That's the yarn, but they're two different bases and obviously two different colorways. So this variegated is the rumble base, which is a 75-25, and it's the colorway Octopus's Garden. And then this blue color is the rumpus base, which is 100% superwash merino in the Waterworks colorway. I'm working it on US 3.25 millimeter needles, and I think I'm about halfway finished, like yarn wise, and I think I'm about there design wise too. I'm not positive, but it'll probably be finished by next week unless, you know, I get totally distracted by something else. I started a pair of fingerless mitts, which they're not very impressive because I started them but did not put a lot of work into them. But the pattern name, do you want to laugh at me trying to pronounce it? Kujilin? No idea. Totally no idea how to pronounce this. By Tina Ku, maybe. It should all have been across the bottom of the screen as I was mispronouncing it terribly. But this is what it is. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I think it's free. I'm pretty sure it's free. So there's garter stitch cuff, which you're supposed to work a knit round and a purl round, but I just worked back and forth, and I will seam up this with a mattress stitch when I am finished, and that will have to be good enough because I didn't want to have to knit around and then purl around. I see. Yeah, take a picture. There we go. It's counting. She is ridiculous and loves that I have a picture on a timer. How about you go take pictures in your room? Go. Take pictures in your room. I can't. You can. What else was I saying? Oh, this is the first pattern that I've ever made. I'm almost positive that has noops in it. Or if I did, but I'm pretty sure I haven't. If I did, it was like the first year I was knitting. But I'm pretty sure this is my first pattern with noops. And I just finished making the first noop. Can you see it right here? I know my camera doesn't do the focus thing. It's kind of tricky. I know there are tricks to making them easier, and maybe for the next set of noops I will I'll look up some of those tricks. It's just in case you don't know what a noop is, it's where you on one round you make a whole bunch of stitches into one stitch, and then on the next round you decrease all of those stitches back to one stitch. So that is tricky fish. I don't know if there's a certain number that it usually is. In this pattern it's 7 stitches, so make 1 stitch into 7 stitches and then decrease 7 stitches back down to 1 stitch the next round. It's kind of tricky, and I don't know if I did it right, but it looks okay. The yarn that I'm using is Sun Valley Fibers, who you've probably heard about on lots of places. They do a lot of MCN, a lot of work with cashmere and stuff. Obviously, I can't use that. So I won this skein from the Stockinette Zombies for a knit along, and I don't remember, or maybe it was just a prize drawing. I don't remember exactly what it was for. I won it last year sometime, but I got to go to the online shop and pick what I wanted, and they have other bases other than cashmere, which is exciting. which I checked before I entered whatever it was, just to make sure that I wouldn't be stuck with a cashmere skein that I wouldn't use. And this is 80/20 merino nylon in the colorway Woodside Gold. So yeah, these will be really pretty. I'm excited that it's only 8 pattern repeats long, so I only have to do 16 noops, because I feel like noops are going to be a thing that I will be able to do, but that I won't love doing. Some people really, really like making noops. I'm not one of those people. Maybe I will by the end of this, though. Maybe it's just because it's new and it's tricky and I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't know. I also started and made okay progress on seamless Salomas. And since I was magic looping, I decided I would do 2 at a time on these. So they're for 2 different pairs. They are for my nephews, Ian and Wyatt, and one likes blue, one likes red. I'm working from a ball of yarn that I don't know where it came from, but it's not a center pole. And then this, which you can use from the inside and outside, but doesn't work great for that. So I'm just pulling from the outside of both and doing half of a pair at a time. The pattern is Seamless Salomas by Megan Williams. The yarn that I'm using is Random Acrylic and Red Heart Super Saver in Cherry. I'm using US size 5, which is 3.5 millimeter, 3.75 millimeter needles. The pattern calls for a US 6, but I want to make sure that these are small enough for them. Their feet are about Gabriel's size feet, which are not super tiny, but smaller than the smallest size listed in the pattern. So I went down, and also they're boys, so they're probably hard on their things, so it can't hurt to have the fabric a little bit dense. These were my elliptical knitting. I did not elliptical very much this week because breathing is kind of integral to being able to work out, and I can't breathe very well right now. I should have the first of each pair finished by next week easy, and hopefully significant progress on the second of each pair, because they're really, really easy. I just have to work on them. That's the problem, is the working on things instead of all of the sleeping, because I've been doing a lot of sleeping, like 10 to 12 hours a day sleeping. I have a work in progress that I didn't work on, but it still got worked on. Lorraine gave me the pieces that she was making for my Frankenstein socks, so now I have cuffs and I have the upper legs of my socks, which means all I have left is obviously cutting everything and grafting it together, because they're steeked socks. It's Frankenstein by Zarina Socks. Gabriel and I Kool-Aid dyed this yarn, and it's all worked on US size 1 2.25 millimeter needles. Anyway, so all I have to do is cut all of that and then do the foot portion, which we're each doing for our own socks, because that is where you determine the length of the sock. So I really want these done by Halloween, which should be totally doable. That's 11 days away. But I have other things that need to be finished first, so hopefully they will be finished by Halloween, because how cool would that be to have Frankenstein socks for Halloween? I'm excited. And I did a fair amount of spinning. I worked on the Painted Tiger Eventide colorway. So last week I had the spindle, and you can see it's got that purpley color. I wound it off so that I can ply it. My spindle was just getting too heavy, and I started spinning more in there. And I'm super excited because I am almost to the purple. Look at that. There's a purple spot and then purple. So I'm getting pretty close. This is what I have left of the braid. It goes into a light purple and then a dark purple. I'm getting there with this braid, and it's not a project that I wanted to have done by the end of the month, so it's not super priority, but I am enjoying the spin on this a lot. So it's been getting a lot of attention, which is fine. It's my goal is for it to be a 3-ply heavy lace to light fingering weight, but we'll see how that goes. We'll probably see soon because I'm making a decent amount of progress. I also worked on the jaws a little bit. I don't even know. I can't remember how much I worked on that. Not as much as I should have. Not as much as I worked on the eventide. And I also did some spinning on the wheel. Another future spinner.
Jeez.
I didn't take the bobbin off, so I will insert a picture. I started the purple. So I'm going to do pink and purple, and now I'm kind of thinking, well, my tentative plan for right now is that I'm going to ply the pink and purple with that shiny, see how much yardage approximately I have, and then decide if I want to use the yellow at all. And if I'm going to use the yellow, I'm going to use it on the other side of the pink, because I just think that I don't really like the yellow and the purple right next to each other. It's too high contrast. But I don't mind the yellow next to the pink. So that's my new tentative plan. We'll see how that works. Anything else? Nope, that's all. Those are all of my works in progress. Okay. I made a barn raising square. This is number 45. And it is super lovely. Love it so much. This center color and this one are Clan Tartan of Badness from, this is the Square 716 knit solo silky, which is a merino silk single, and then this outside is Josh Can't Overdye Black on the same base. I just love this colorway, love this square so much. It's so pretty. Isn't it so pretty? So that's square number 45. I did make hexapuffs this week, but not very many. I only made 3. I made a celebratory hexapuff in some yarn from the ZK 2014. I used Vesper in something about a pumpkin. I don't remember. Haley told me and I totally forgot. And I used Clan Tartan of Badness to make this hexapuff. I am sorry for my very loud daughter, and I just realized, oh, well, I'm glad I realized it now, but look at that. A stitch did not get bound off in the
It's a skirt.
Kitchener. It's not very good. I must have gotten distracted.
A skirt. A scarf.
Oh, can I have that scarf, please?
Yeah.
It's a very fancy scarf.
Ow, ow, ow.
Stop jumping. Thank you. This is the purple that I'm spinning on the wheel currently. It's very pretty. I'm up to 393 hexapuffs total. So yay that, almost 400. I don't remember how many I decided I needed to make. I think it was like 1,200. I'll probably lay it out again soon and try to figure that out again. It's gonna be so many. So many. But if I'm at almost 400 and I think I need 1,200, that means I'm about 25% finished knitting hexapuffs. Yay. I really like this project. I really like that I'm making a blanket for Gabriel, and it's really fun. It's all sorts of colors. It's all sorts of crazy. You can see it right next to my ear right here. That's all hexapuff goodness. It's just they're so small and they take so long. I have a few more new things to share from you. These are from the box that Josh sent me, and they're from Josh. So the first is mini skeins from FO and Dye. The set is Maddie Sunset mini skeins, and they are different bases. So this one is Jasmine, and it's superwash merino, nylon, and stellina. This one is called Surrey. It is superwash merino and tencel, and this one is, I can't read the name. I want to say it's Neve, but I'm not sure. Superwash merino, silk, and yak. There was a fourth in here, but it had cashmere in it, so Haley very graciously took it. She took one for the team so that I wouldn't be hurt by the cashmere. And they're 25 grams each, so they're very generous mini skeins. I'm not sure what I'm going to use them for. I don't know. I don't know if I want to use them separately in projects or all together as something. I don't know. Very pretty though. This is my first ever skein of Plucky Knitter. This is the Sophisticate. It's 510 yards of merino, mohair, and silk in the colorway Charming. It's very pretty. Very pretty. I don't know what that's going to be either, but you know, it can sit around and just be pretty for a while. And this is from Moon Rover. I don't remember the colorway name. It's merino, and this is 1 ounce. Josh got a 4-ounce braid and split it between himself, Jenna, Haley, and me. So we each got an ounce, and that's exciting. These colors are so fun. I'm super excited about that. It really wants to start being spun right now, but I don't have any spinning things open except my supported spindle. And I cannot start a new spinning project. No more new spinning projects, even though I want to. What I'm reading, I've listened to Dracula. I really need to just finish listening to that audiobook. I think that's what I'm going to do today instead of podcasts. I'm just going to audiobook it so I can have that finished so I can return it to the library because that's a couple days overdue right now. And I could just turn it back in and then recheck it out in a week or something, but I've been listening to it for a very, very long time. I just need to finish it, and I think I'm close to the end. They just had the showdown with Lucy. That's kind of close to the end, right? Yeah, I'm hoping. I don't remember. I am still reading Dorian Gray, but I think I read like 2 pages this week. That whole idea of reading 10 pages a day would be fine. I'm just in a part of the book where there is no action. And it's okay to have exposition for a page or two, but it's like 10 pages in a row. And I read a page and I get like that sinks in, but then I read a second page and I'm like, I have no idea what I just read. So I can only read a page at a time. And I was reading it downstairs, so I left it downstairs. This is why I'm always reading 8,000 books. Because when I leave a book somewhere and it's too far away for me to go get, I just start a new book. So leaving a book downstairs when I want to read a book at bedtime, it's not going to work. I'm not going to go all the way downstairs if I'm already ready for bed and all I need is my book. So that's been downstairs all week. So I've only read a couple pages. I'm still listening to Drums of Autumn in my car for work, driving, and stuff. I did not pick up Clockwork Angel at all this week because I left it on my desk, and my desk is still too far away from my bed for reading time. But the bag of books that I picked up from the library was next to my bed, so I started reading The Grey Wolf Throne by Cinda Williams Chima. Not super far. I am only 46 pages in. It's the third book in the, what series is this? The Seven Realms series, which I have been greatly enjoying. I don't remember what I've told you about it. So there's a princess, Reza, and the Grey Wolf line is the line of queens. There was 1,000 years ago a breaking where a wizard tried to marry the queen, and all things went bad, and now there are rules in place where wizards and the queen um, they can't marry, and there are in this kingdom there's the clans who kind of remind me of Native Americans ish, um, and the princess, is born of the queen and also of her consort who is from the clans. And there's magic. Um, there aren't fantastical creatures, but there is magic. It's it's really, really interesting. It's really good. If you like magic at all, it reminds me of, it's definitely like epic fantasy, but for young adults. So not a ton of gore, not, um, no sex actually happens, although like kissing happens and making out happens and life happens, but it's not explicit. So yeah, it's really good. I'm really, really enjoying it. And I read those 46 pages over 2 nights, which is kind of a lot because I've been really, really tired and really sick. So when I get to bed, I'm usually almost ready to pass out. But, 23 pages a night is a lot when you're about to pass out. So I'm really, really enjoying it, and foresee reading it not just at bedtime. It's really good. I really, really recommend the Seven Realms series. The first one is The Demon King. So pick it up, give it a try. There's world building, so get past the first 50 pages of the first book and then read the next 50 pages to get an idea of whether or not you would like it. I really, really like it. I think that's all I have for you this week. I hope you made something fantastic with your sticks and string. And I don't even think I said that at the beginning. I don't know. We'll see that when I'm editing. Who knows? Maybe it's there. Maybe it's not. And I will see you next week. Bye.